Hi, it's Jen from New Initiatives Marketing. In this newsletter, we're going to talk all about websites. So, if you're in the market to start a new website, if you're in the market to revamp your company website, if you're thinking about what do we do next with our website, this video will help you decide. I'm going to cover three different topics for websites, and by topics, I mean three different platforms. So I'm going to cover Wix, Squarespace, and WordPress. Now, I'm just going to cover them in a basic kind of overview type of way, and this will give you an idea of what's the difference, because I'm sure you've seen commercials out there and promotions out there for Wix and Squarespace and wonder, hey, I heard about WordPress. What about these other two that are coming up? First time I've heard about them. Or if you've heard about them for a long time, they have had very significant improvements. So perhaps the Wix or the Squarespace you knew, when they first came out, they have changed radically, and you might decide, that's the platform for you. So very quickly to go through them. Wix, W-I-X. So Wix is a platform. It's very good for beginners. And what I mean by that is if you want to tackle putting together your own company website, Wix would be one you could do. I personally wouldn't do it myself just because when I get into technical things, if it's not blatantly obvious, I get very frustrated. So if you are a little more technical than I am and you want to tackle putting together a Wix website, please go ahead and do it. We have worked with clients who have had a Wix site and it has served them very, very well. The problem has been when they want their website to do more for them. So when they want to add a few other pages, when they want to add certain pages to do certain things, when they want to add certain downloads, when they want to add a plugin to link to their MailChimp, when they want to have certain alerts happen, we have found it a little bit more difficult than one would think on a very easy to use platform. What we have found difficult about it is it's either we weren't able to do some of the things that we wanted to do, or we could do them, but we had to find somebody that really knew the platform and had to put in some extra code to make that happen. Now, the problem is with extra code, I mean, first of all, it's not a problem. It can work. That's okay. But you have to think every time Wix would upgrade themselves, just like any other software out there, there's always an upgrade, right? There's a new upgrade for your phone every once in a while. There's a new upgrade for your operating system every once in a while. The same thing happens to your website platform. So that when there was an upgrade, we'd have to make sure, okay, does the code that was written specifically for our site, does it work well with the new update? And in order to do that, we'd have to go get usually the fellow, but sometimes the lady that did the coding for that website and say, okay, well, there's been an upgrade. Can you make sure that the code is working? And so that would be an extra expense. That would be an extra time-consuming thing that we had to do, an extra thing we had to remember. Sometimes that person has decided to go and not perform those services anymore. So now you're scrambling to find a new person to work on code that they didn't write, but yet you're hiring them to fix or update the code so it works with the new update. So it can become not so self-serve and not so easy as you may have thought it would be going with Wix. Suffice to say, we have migrated some clients from Wix over to my favorite, which is WordPress, but we'll get to that in a sec. So the next one is Squarespace. Now, Squarespace, Squarespace and Wix, millions of websites run on this. They're fine platforms. All that would be the deciding factor is, what do you want your website to do for you? How much do you want to be thinking about your website and making sure that everything is working properly? And do you have the right support in your network to call upon in case something is wrong with the site, it needs a little bit of extra attention that you can't fix yourself, or does need some extra coding for some specific things that you want your website to do. Between Wix and Squarespace, Squarespace would be more design friendly. So I would say generally more beautiful. So if design is very, very important to you and very, very important as one of the values in your company, between Wix and Squarespace, I would suggest that Squarespace might be great for you. Squarespace, again, very easy to get started. way you go. It's just in our experience as well with clients, when they wanted the website to do so much more than they first mapped out for the website to do, extra functionality, extra this, extra that. Um, that's where we again ran into problems, much like Wix. So, can that component do what you want it to do? Frequently not. So we had to get some expert in, perform some code, attach certain plugins to it, maybe put a zap in there to make these things work together. And it just becomes more to manage than perhaps you thought in the first place, right? If you've been sold on the idea that these websites are just super simple, you can be up and running in a few hours, absolutely you can. But when you want to start having sort of custom things happen on your website, that's when you can run into problems. And these do-it-yourself, these easy platforms aren't so easy anymore. Third one is WordPress. And I would say WordPress is the best in the way of giving you the freedom to do what you want to do. It allows you the freedom to grow. It allows you the freedom to have all these different plugins happen as technology marches on and as your business grows and you decide, you know what, our website needs to do so much more for us. Typically, you can find a plugin to a WordPress website that will allow you to do whatever it is that you want. It will integrate with a lot of different other services, and as well, the ability to find a WordPress expert virtually anywhere in the world that you are, that will be able to help you, is much more readily available, we have found, than anyone with Wix or Squarespace. The drawback on WordPress is typically it's not going to be the kind of thing you can get up and running in 1 hour, as you may be able to with Wix or Squarespace. It's going to take a lot longer. It's a little more complicated, and you're probably going to want to have a dedicated WordPress person to help you do that. And then the ongoing maintenance, probably something, it depends who you have in your team, that you could handle it yourself, or you can always have that outsourced as well and have ongoing WordPress maintenance. So how would you decide between Wix and Squarespace and WordPress? Well, if you are just getting started with either your company or a project and you need a web presence and you're not, terribly sure where this thing is going to go, if you need to get something up and running, Wix or Squarespace, go for it. If you're more sure about the company, the project, the web presence that you want, I would go with WordPress. I would say that the upfront time and money spent on it will allow you a huge amount of flexibility in the future and a huge amount of freedom. That would be important to a company that is viewing their website as a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week salesperson. And that's why we're such a big fan of WordPress, is because that's how we view websites for our clients. And that's how we view websites being a component of marketing, is that they are your 24/7 salesperson, meaning that they can, have somebody fill out a form, have somebody leave a message, have somebody download or consume the information that is needed for them right now so that they can get to know, like, and trust your company much, much better. It can also, link into various different other platforms that you have running your business, and really become a useful component of your company and of your company's marketing. So for us, hands down, it would be WordPress. Squarespace and Wix are viable options as well, depending what you need. Just go into it thinking ahead. So when you go to Wix and Squarespace and you want something easy, just know that later on down the line, it might not be so easy to expand and be flexible. WordPress, well, it's going to take a huge more effort to get going. Down the road, it might be actually the most flexible path for you and might be the best platform for you as your business grows and as you want to expand and have your website grow and support you there too. If you have any questions, contact me. I'll do my best to walk you through the best next step for your website. And good luck with your new website.